Your roadmap to the latest in auto. Welcome to Highway Herald. And today, we're diving into a seismic shakeup in North American trade that's sending shockwaves across the aluminum industry. While Trump pushes his tariff-heavy One Big Beautiful Bill, Canada is forging its own aluminum destiny, quietly, strategically, and with a whole lot of hydro-powered muscle. From billion-dollar smelting upgrades to diversifying exports away from U.S. dependence, this isn't just a trade update, it's a glimpse into the future of industrial self-reliance. So buckle up, because these developments are more than headlines. They're the makings of an economic rewire. Rewriting the rules. Canada's billion-dollar power play. Canada has just unleashed its boldest play yet in the aluminum trade showdown. Aluminary Alouette is committing a staggering $1.5 billion to expand and modernize its Setbacks facility in Quebec, a move that goes far beyond simple upgrades. This is a deliberate, carbon-smart, and tariff-resistant strategy aimed at reshaping North America's aluminum supply chain. The investment will roll out in phases through 2045, with $750 million allocated by 2030. What sets this apart is the smelter's access to stable, renewable hydroelectric power from Hydro-Quebec. That means cleaner production, lower emissions, and insulation from the price volatility of fossil fuels. At a time when the U.S. is hammering imports with 50% tariffs, Canada is turning sustainability into an economic weapon. Quebec already produces 70% of North America's aluminum, and this megaproject tightens its hold. With 950 employees and an annual output of 630,000 tons, Alouette already accounts for 20% of Quebec's capacity. For Highway Herald viewers, that means more lightweight, eco-efficient aluminum in tomorrow's vehicles, crafted independently of U.S. pressure. But billion-dollar investments are only part of the story. Canada's political leadership is now stepping into the arena with unapologetic force. Tariff retaliation, Mélanie Joly goes on the offensive. Canadian Industry Minister Mélanie Joly is taking a no-nonsense approach to the escalating aluminum trade dispute. Speaking from Quebec's aluminum heartland, she called Trump's 50% tariffs unjustified, illegal, and unacceptable, framing the economic clash as a frontline battle over aluminum, steel, and autos. But her response goes beyond bold words. She's launching a full-scale action plan. Joly is cutting bureaucratic red tape, reducing funding applications from 50 pages to just 12, and pumping financial support through agencies like BDC and CED. She's prioritizing small and mid-sized processors, the lifeblood of Canada's aluminum industry, and making a clear case to break free from reliance on a volatile and unpredictable U.S. market, citing the UK's trade frustrations as a warning. Her three-stage strategy includes short-term anti-dumping protections, mid-term liquidity boosts and deregulation, and long-term plans to fuel demand through military procurement and fast-tracked industrial megaprojects. This isn't just political theater. It's an industrial roadmap shaping the future of Canadian-made vehicles and the jobs that bring them to life. Before we delve deeper, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're passionate about how geopolitics, autos, and innovation intersect, Highway Herald is your ultimate destination. Stay in the know. Subscribe now. Aluminum without borders. How Canada's trade pivot is gaining traction. While Washington piles on tariffs, Canada is hitting the gas in a new direction, toward global markets that don't come with strings attached. The numbers speak volumes. In May 2025, Canadian exports to non-US destinations jumped by 5.7%, setting record highs, while exports to the US slumped to levels not seen since the early pandemic. Canada's trade deficit also narrowed significantly, dropping from 7.6 billion Canadian dollars in April to 5.9 billion Canadian dollars in May. And this diversification isn't limited to metals. Gold exports to the UK climbed more than 30%. Aluminum shipments to Italy surged. Even pork exports to Japan rose by 13%, proving agri-food is getting in on the action too. Companies across Canada are re-engineering their strategies. PNP Pharmaceuticals is turning to Asia, while even quirky businesses, like mascot costume makers, are slashing prices or exiting US partnerships altogether. Economists call this shift the Great Pivot, driven by trade deals like CPTPP and CETA. But booming exports don't erase the deeper challenges at home. especially in Canada's broader manufacturing base, where the data paints a more sobering picture. From setbacks to spark plugs, Canada's manufacturing takes a hit, but innovation sparks fly. Canada's aluminum-driven surge isn't without setbacks, especially in its broader manufacturing sector. In June, the S&P Global PMI fell to 45.6, its lowest since the 2020 pandemic, marking 5 consecutive months of contraction. Trump's aggressive tariffs and lingering trade uncertainty have triggered major production slowdowns across the country. Manufacturers are adapting quickly. Some, like a steel components maker, are renegotiating U.S. contracts to share the burden of tariffs. Others are pivoting harder, setting up new sales networks in Europe and Asia, or cutting U.S. ties altogether. But out of this turbulence, a promising shift is emerging. Canada's clean tech and advanced manufacturing sectors are gaining momentum. EV battery material production is accelerating. Hydrogen innovation is scaling up. Aerospace exports hit nearly 19 billion Canadian dollars last year and continue to rise. Ontario and Manitoba are becoming critical hubs for green tech investment, while Quebec pushes forward with digital, low-emission industrial systems. This low point could spark a powerful realignment, redefining how vehicles are built and where the future of Canadian manufacturing is headed. That brings us to a key piece of the puzzle: how all this aluminum and tech reaches global buyers. It's time to look at Canada's rising trade weapon, its ports. Canada's aluminum launchpad, how ports became the trade arsenal. While billion-dollar smelters grab headlines, Canada's ports, especially Port Saguenay in Quebec, are quietly transforming the country's aluminum trade strategy. Once a modest terminal, Saguenay is now a vital hub in the global supply chain, shipping aluminum directly to Europe. Minister Mélanie Joly's recent visit highlighted the strategic infrastructure upgrades, making exports faster, cheaper, and free from U.S. tariff disruptions. More than just a shipping point, the port is going green. It's equipped for low-emission operations and meets ESG standards, attracting sustainability-conscious buyers from markets like Germany and Italy. Local aluminum producers such as Stas and Rio Tinto's Arvida facility now benefit from seamless, tariff-free access to global clients. And it's not stopping with aluminum. With Ottawa and Quebec co-investing in cold storage, bulk terminals, and rail connectivity, Saguenay is also poised to support sectors like hydrogen, rare earths, and agri-food. In today's trade climate, ports like Saguenay aren't just support systems, they're launchpads for Canada's global industrial future. The final gear, the Great Aluminum Realignment. So what's the verdict? Canada isn't just reacting, it's recalibrating. That $1.5 billion aluminum investment in Quebec is more than infrastructure. It's a strategic reset. With Mélanie Joly's firm stance against U.S. tariffs, rising exports to Europe and Asia, and a surge in clean tech development, Canada is no longer playing defense. It's redefining its industrial future. Yes, there's friction. Manufacturing has taken a hit. But this shift might be the gear change that powers long-term strength. It's not just about trade, it's about securing supply chains, boosting innovation, and reshaping how materials and vehicles move in a post-tariff world. Let's hear from you. Can Canada fully break free from U.S. trade reliance? Will clean aluminum fuel Canada's next industrial boom? How might this pivot shape future vehicles? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Highway Herald for more updates on the intersection of autos, trade, and tech. Thanks for watching and see you next time. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's more exciting and informative content waiting for you.